It was very early in the morning when Kevin and I discovered each other on the upper deck of the ship taking photographs. The open sea gave way to the Norwegian fjords, and the scenery was beginning to look just like we imagined it would as we sailed further inland, closing in on Bergen, Norway. We were like two kids in a candy store, knowing we were within minutes of starting the next chapter of our adventure. It was time to head to our cabins, pack our gear, and begin loading our bikes. We were in Norway now. We would spend the next 7 days riding over 1,600 miles through Norway, and we were still 6 days and over 1,500 miles away from our ultimate goal, the North Cape, locally known as Nordkapp. Every time we stopped to take a rest, get fuel, or take pictures, I would always check and make sure that everything I took out of my cases, I put back in my cases before we would hop on the bikes and hit the road again. Then I would go over that checklist once again in my head as we started riding. Did I put the tripod back in the top case? Did I put the lens protector back on the drone and put it in the top case? Did I remember to put my iPad that was sitting on the top of the right pannier back in the top case? I felt like I needed to rethink that one again. Did I remember to put my brand new iPad that I used to fly the drone, make my journal entries in, study our daily routes, and watch movies on in the plane, back in its protective case, zip it up, and put it back in the top case? I was beginning to think that the answer to that question was no. I tried to reach Kevin on the helmet intercom and get him to turn around. But, of course...
Intercom failed.
It was really hard to let any kind of act of stupidity like I just committed ruin this trip when you're surrounded by breathtaking scenery like this. Now I had to focus on finding Kevin because he was probably miles ahead of me. That was Kevin that just went by after he turned around and started riding back to the last place we saw each other after getting separated. Just like we're supposed to do. Sure glad one of us can remember to follow the plan correctly. With the relatively short ride from Bergen to Helgotten, about 97 miles, we arrived at our hotel early in the afternoon as planned. So we checked in, then hopped back on the bikes and took a side trip through Gudvangen and Flam to fill in the rest of the afternoon.
Say Flam.
Flam! Flam!
Well, we're in Flam.
On the 6th day of our trip, we're riding from Helgotten to Farstad, about 270 miles. We left Helgotten with the same problem we've had over the last 5 days.
Doesn't seem to be hooked up yet.
Intercom failed.
Yeah, we'll keep trying. It'll come on eventually.
Within minutes, we found ourselves in a picturesque valley, surrounded by motorcycle-eating sheep. Kevin took exception to the fact that his bike was being nibbled away by these creatures and had a bit of a standoff with one of them. Kevin won, of course. No intercom problem, shattered iPad, or even motorcycle-eating sheep could take away from the majestic Norwegian scenery we were about to experience today. We'd already been awestruck by the beauty of Norway so far and didn't think it could get any better. We were about to be proven wrong. Within a matter of seconds, we went from early spring in Norway to midwinter. We arrived in Geiranger with about an hour to spare to catch the boat we reserved to ride through the Geiranger Fjord. I was already in somewhat of a daze because of the spectacular scenery over the last day and a half. And sailing through the Geiranger Fjord proved that it does keep getting better.